And away we go. God, I hate that song. All right. People, I want to set the scene for everybody. This is a big day. Rico, work with me. We're slowly riding our trusty steed into the dusty, bandit-ridden town of Fort Worth, Texas. And we are about to watch two men, and only one will walk away successful, victorious. We've got two Cowboys that are about to square off. It is Lou Lamoriello in some assless chaps and some spurs, and the captain, Steve Yzerman. Oh, yeah. Woo! Riding in. Two men, two guns, one pussycat.
Oh. There ain't enough room in this town for the both of us.
Yeah. Steve, you're right. You rode a long way. Walk home empty-handed. Woo! The Alex DeBrincat sweepstakes. According to reports, it is down to the Wings, which has been our wish all along, and the Islanders. Two of the saltiest, most accomplished general managers in the sport, Rico Beard, Lou Lamoriello, Steve Yzerman. There's only one cat. This is as good as it gets.
Only one gets to leave town alive.
That's and with the prize. So here's my point to you. I have a question. Because all the conversation, I haven't been on the air since Friday, and it's like, doesn't DeBrincat or a player like him, which has been Kenny and I's intent the whole way. It's never been about Alex DeBrincat. It's about anyone who's a first-line, 35-plus goal guy with a window. We can't be signing a 36-year-old here. If we did that, somehow the offseason would be a success in the minds of people like us. Now, obviously, the Wings have had a flurry of signings this weekend. Obviously, all of the people they've signed are depth at best. Okay, so like Comfer that's a second line guy. That's not going to make the headlines. Right. High of 18 goals in his career. It's not that he's bad. It's that he's not a first line guy that we feel like Dylan Larkin needs next to him, and Lucas Raymond needs next to him. So I want to know this: if Steve Yzerman gets this done, the offseason cuts one of two ways. In my world. That doesn't make it right. It's my world. The offseason either goes right to being an A+. We got DeBrincat. We signed him. He's 25. The timeline is right in line with a lot of the younger guys.
Right.
And
you added depth.
Right. And then all of why did they sign a backup goalie? Or why'd they sign this dude from Toronto who's a defensive defenseman? And it's like, okay, fine. The point is, you either go A+ mode and it all looks beautiful, or doesn't it further discontent amongst whatever percentage? I mean, Kenny, I was thinking about this. Doug was asking approval ratings. And he goes, well, Yzerman's approval has never been lower. Now, I don't know that I buy that because we operate in a vacuum. I still would believe a vast majority of the fans are still the Steve bots. Like, whatever he does is right. They'll defend it. He could sign a guy, they'll defend it. And then there's a quarter to a third, 25 to 33%, that I think is looking around going, while we think this dude's a great GM, we'd like to have some fun again and have a product we want to watch.
Yeah, I think that the number may be a little bit bigger than that, Mike, because when you look at, was it 2020 or pre-2020?
Yes, we do.
We want to break the catnip, to break it.
I think that I would probably maybe say that number is 35, 40%.
Okay.
Of people who, because you look at the state of sports here, pro sports in Detroit, and the Wings have now been lumped in there. They were exempt for a while because everybody said, going to let Stevie do his thing. And now they're realizing, well, we're going on 5 years. We're still kind of in the same spot. We haven't really progressed to the playoffs. You're getting antsy.
Yeah.
Now, the majority of people are probably still have faith, but I think Harbaugh, 2020, where a lot of Michigan fans were ready to turn on him. They hadn't turned on him.
Was that 5 years in or 6?
I think that was 5.
God, time flies, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I think that was 5 years in where they didn't turn on him, but man, they were going and buying the pitchforks and they were buying the torches and the gasoline.
But see, I don't think it's never reached that point, nor should it with Yzerman. It's more, look, I think asking more doesn't mean you hate somebody. It doesn't mean you want them gone.
Yeah, nobody's running him out of town right now.
No. But it's the level of disappointment of, because I honestly, I think that we've built DeBrincat up to the fact that now he's, the next Wayne Gretzky. He's that next guy. No, because everybody, we got to get him. Well, what if you don't? Does that mean Stevie's a failure?
Well, that's why I'm asking the question, is that now that we're in Fort Worth, Dusty Road, and Lou Lamoriello and Steve Yzerman are about to draw on each other. Yzerman rode on his steed. He calls him El Capitan. Lou Lamoriello rode in on his. He calls him Pizza Face.
Didn't think I'd be seeing you in this part of town.
All right, David and I are turning over the sign in our store to close.
Right. The windows are getting boarded up, everybody. There's a tumbleweed that goes across.
There's no room at the inn.
Right.
Oh,
and
this is going to be a good one here.
Call the marshals. Listen, all reports are it's Islanders and Wings. So my question is, if you get DeBrincat, offseason becomes A+. If you don't, does it further your discontentment? I don't know that there's this middle ground of, well, we'll just see how it goes. And I don't subscribe to that way of thinking.
I think that's see.
Yeah, but to me, that's a disservice to our audience. I'm not going to wait and see. We're on the air today. I want to talk about it.
I'm joking.
Now, you're right. Like, if somehow tomorrow, like, Nylander drops down from a hot air balloon, well, then happy times are here again. But I want to know from the people, doesn't it cut one way or the other for you? That if you get DeBrincat, now that you know it's down to you and sweet Lou Lamoriello, one of the big-time GMs in the league, an accomplished man, a Hall of Famer, and Steve Yzerman, same deal. Would you say these are 2 of the top 5 guys in the game, Kenny?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, they're squaring off in Fort Worth, sundown. I just feel like people are going to be forced into one of those 2 camps. Or is there a weird third thing where it's just, whatever happens, happens, and I'm just trusting the process, middle ground? I don't feel that way. I want the Wings to be good because I actually want to watch them more. I want to have a product that's see, that's the dirty secret. Sports in 2023, not 1995 or 2005. Look, in my early to mid-20s, even if a team was bad, I'd hate watch them every night. But like as you grow older and sports has evolved, and Rico, you know this, if your team is not interesting in any league but the NFL, people will find something else to do. It's not like it used to be. So I look at it like this is an opportunity for us to get interesting faster. And I don't think it's irresponsible. Again, he's got 2 40-goal seasons. You'll say he played next to great players in Chicago. I'll tell you, that's what you hope you have in Dylan Larkin and Lucas Raymond.
Fair.
Okay? He's 25. He's from Michigan. He's a guy that actually would not hate being here. And he turned down the extension with his current team. Reports are he turned down an 8-year deal. I'm just making the point that if you're willing to sign a 5-year term for a 28-year-old guy who's never topped more than 18 goals, and that's not his role in Comfort, but he's a defensive-minded guy, second-line guy, well, that guy's going to be 33 by the time his contract's over. If you're willing to do that with him, then I don't see the issue going at 6 or 7 or 8 with a 25-year-old. Now, if Yzerman just doesn't like the player, that's his prerogative.
Right.
But until you show me another 40-goal scorer who's on the market available and wouldn't throw up the bird to come into Detroit, this is what I have.
Right. It just kind of seems like it's really trending to the point.
What?
Steve has to get this done or you failed this offseason.
I only think a third of the fan base would feel that way, at most. I'll let Kenny define the percentage. I feel like a vast majority of people, and it's not a battle of right or wrong, it's about straight up. Like, I think if you don't question who runs your team, you're not being honest as a fan. Now, that has nothing to do with, like, look, I think Joe Shane does a great job with my football team. That doesn't mean I don't question how he's handled Saquon Barkley.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can question it without hating the person.
What did we do for the Lions this offseason? They drafted a running back. At first, we all kind of shrugged at that. We didn't like that. But, you know, you can question somebody without wanting to run them out of town.
That's correct. So the point is, once we move past that low-grade argument and we just get into the reality of, okay, which way does the offseason cut? It goes to an A+ if they get him, right? Or just an A. A+ would have been something different in Kenny's mind.
You know what I
that
think?
and like Nylander. If you get both A++++,
What I think
I'll be a Steve bot again if that happens.
And for some Wings fans, they're going to have to walk back because I think some have already lowered the bar. Well, DeBrincat's short, and you know he played with great players, and he was this, and he was that, and it's kind of, you know, I guess making sure you're not disappointed. You've lowered the bar, saying, well, he wasn't that good anyway. Yeah, we cooled on him.
See, I think both elements are false. Anyone who built him out to be a superstar, that's not what he is.
No.
He's a really nice player, but he's not one of the top 15, 20 guys in the league. But if you've also spent the last week denigrating him to defend your hero, well, that's not accurate either. It's okay to just say this guy's going to make Dylan Larkin better and vice versa. This guy's going to help Lucas Raymond and vice versa. That's how I view it. And clearly the Islanders view it that way too, because their first line would be DeBrincat, Barzal, and Bo Horvat. That'd be the best Islander line of my life. Unless you want to go back to when I was 4 and, you know, potty trained and they were, you know, Mike Bossy was on the team. So the guy has value. No, I'm saying like that, Kenny, I wasn't Rico privileged growing up. I don't remember the Islanders Stanley Cups. You know, Rico claims he had memories the third day he was born and he ordered a Diet Coke. I don't do that.
Such a hater.
Just wasn't expecting a Mike Bossy reset. That's
no,
awesome.
I'm making a point that that doesn't.
I was just shocked he was still getting potty trained at 4.
No, but it doesn't matter to me because I wasn't old enough. I wasn't able to appreciate it. So DeBrincat has value. The question is just, if you get him, it goes all the way to the left. And if you don't, doesn't it feel like it goes all the way to the right? I'll throw the number out. And look, it's Elliot Friedman reporting it, a number of hockey reporters. It's down to you and the Islanders. So how much do you want Stevie to go out and do this? Even if it meant, do you want to sign a guy to that extra year of term and or that extra bit of money? You know, what if it requires a different level? I think you can obviously offer more than the Islanders. The Islanders are butted up against the cap. The Islanders don't have as many prospects as you have. I'm asking you how bad you want to, how much do you want to bleed to get this guy?